everybody. I thought today I would try something different with the Golden Globe nominations. I thought we would do this interactive. Usually we play... Oh, sorry. It's quite the delay on the on seeing it. So I just want to make sure everything's okay. I thought that it wasn't working. I apologize about that. But that's a very weird delay. So it's very nice to see everybody. So I apologize about that. But anyway, I wanted to try and do something different. Usually we play who should win and who will win. And we will do that with the Oscar nominations in January. But with this one, I wanted to do something interactive where you guys could vote on some of the bigger awards for who you thought should win, and do it this way because also, again, the categories are so huge. We have both movies and TV. So first off, I think that the first poll that I want to put up here is whether or not you plan to watch the Golden Globes. And we'll have this up while I talk about the first section. So yes, no, and then we'll pay attention to social media. All right, there you go. That's the first poll for the day. So nice to see everybody. Who is hosting this year? Well, Jerrod Carmichael is hosting, who, by the way, here he is. He just won an Emmy. Now, he is not only a comedian of color, but he's also a member of the LGBT community. And the Golden Globes, I think, need somebody of these groups to help vouch for them. Still, Jerrod Carmichael is pretty low down in terms of who you would get to host something like this. So while it's an excellent opportunity for him, I think it just goes to show that they had a very hard time getting anybody to host. So I think, again, as I said, this is a wonderful opportunity for him, especially because I suspect he'll have lots of time up there on stage, because I think a really important question is who will show up to not only accept the awards, like who's going to accept these awards, if anybody, but who's even going to present them. You could have a situation where Jerrod Carmichael is in there by himself. I think that's very possible. And the producer of the Golden Globes has said, there's a chance that this is going to feel very interactive. They're going to do something different, I think, because they have no choice but to do something different. So I'll be curious to see, Jerrod Carmichael, like Bo Burnham, has a lot of tricks up his sleeve and is very familiar with, I think, modern social media and entertainment, ways to connect with the audience. And so I think that if anyone can do it, it would be, I think Jerrod Carmichael or Bo Burnham, although I don't think Bo Burnham would have hosted. It's a difficult situation. So that's Jerrod Carmichael. Let's see here. So we'll talk about snubs now. I'll give you just a few more moments here to vote as to whether or not you're going to be watching. Right now, paying attention on social media is winning, with people watching at the very last. So that's not great for this show, for the Golden Globes. Now, there were some snubs, but not anything huge. Will Smith was not nominated for Emancipation, but I think, even Will Smith, I'm sure, doesn't expect any nominations this year. I mean, it's just 1 year after what happened last year, the incident. I don't see that happening. Tom Cruise, some people speculated that maybe Tom Cruise wasn't nominated for Best Actor because he returned his Golden Globe after all the controversy, but I'm sure the Golden Globes would love to make up with Tom Cruise. I think that Tom Cruise isn't going to get nominated for Best Actor anywhere. I just don't see that happening. Some people are upset, understandably, that Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere All at Once was not nominated, but instead Jamie Lee Curtis was nominated. I can see that. The Golden Globes, they might have changed, but in some ways they're still very much the same, and they love celebrities, so they're going to pick the bigger name every time. Rhea Seehorn, also, I think for the same reasons, not recognized for Better Call Saul. Selena Gomez, though, not snubbed. She was nominated for Only Murders in the Building. I agree, though, that Paddy Considine was a pretty big snub for House of the Dragon. I would have loved to have seen him nominated, and I'm glad that a number of people were upset about that. But only one actor got nominated from House of the Dragon, Emma Darcy. Not even Matt Smith got nominated. And meanwhile, Rings of Power totally shut out. Although I would agree with that, to be honest with you, quite frankly. So as I said, overall, the Golden Globes are going to Golden Globe. I thought they were so they have the good aspects of the show and the bad aspects. On the good side, I think they did a very good job for the most part with these nominations. I think they're very well spread out. I'm very impressed with the amount of shows and movies they were able to recognize. I think everyone's going to feel pretty good. And I also think they're pretty good. They are pretty good at guessing who the Oscars are going to go to. Remember, they divide film into two different categories so that it gives them more nominations, whereas Oscars are just one category. So it's half the spots. But then also, on the bad side, Ana de Armas being nominated for Blonde is, I think, ridiculous. But no, nothing against Ana de Armas, but I think that was like a really insulting film, and as you know, I have huge problems with it, but I think unfortunately it's right up there with the Golden Globes with the way that they operate. And then also I was very disappointed that not one female director was nominated in a year where there are a number of excellent candidates. So I mean, like Baz Luhrmann, I would have totally taken back. I mean, Elvis is a beautiful mess, but it's still a mess. And I think to nominate him is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, especially when you had much better very good female directors this year who, Woman King, Woman Talking, and then also She Said. So a woman should have been in there. And so it's a little ridiculous. Oh, hey, Alwyn. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, so let's end this poll before we jump into the actual nominations and breaking them down. So 40% of you will pay attention to this on social media, with only 23% of you planning to tune in. But still, I think that this is a pretty good return for the Golden Globes. I think that these as I said, I think overall, I mean, you can't please everybody. I think these nominations are pretty good. As I said, they're quite democratic. So I managed to figure out how to use a slideshow on here. I'm quite happy about how this worked out. I'm like, wow, this is great. So it was really easy for me to load up all these pictures. So as you can see, nominations by motion picture. Banshees of Inisherin is the top nominated. And I'm not surprised by that, quite frankly, because even though I think it's not at all an enjoyable movie, I do think that it's very well done as a fable. And Everything Everywhere All at Once. Oh, by the way, Babylon getting so much attention. Totally, that's so Golden Globes. That's such a Golden Globes thing to do. It's ridiculous. Hey, Rudy. I feel bad for Janelle Monáe Wesley, but I honestly don't think that her performance was that good. So I don't think she should have been nominated, to be honest with you. And so then you can see Fabelmans. I don't agree with that, but it's not unexpected. And so, it's pretty well spread out, though. It's even all the blockbusters, by the way, only have 2 apiece. Avatar, there's no technical awards here, though. So that's really going to hurt the blockbusters. There's no cinematography, there's no visual effects. So there's a little bit of a problem there. Jerome, Babylon is the Damien Chazelle movie with Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie, which takes place, like in the hedonistic days of Hollywood. I haven't seen Babylon yet. And the word on it is that it's awful. Everyone says it's really bad. It's about 3 hours. But it's just such a Golden Globes movie. So I'm not at all surprised that it was nominated. So by studio, Searchlight. Disney purchased Fox, and that included Searchlight Pictures. And Searchlight, is still strong. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you for that. So Searchlight has the most nominations, followed by A24. That's very good. Larry Ellison must be very happy that his money was well spent this year. And, so I think, again, here, very well spread out, very nicely spread out. I think you can feel good about this. Next up, as for shows, you can see that this is very democratic. Abbott Elementary has the most with 5, but right behind it is The Crown, Dahmer, Only Murders in the Building, Pam and Tommy and the White Lotus. Blackbird, I'm so happy to see Blackbird recognized here. I think, again, these are, again, a lot of shows got a nod, which I think is really nice. But HBO still on top. They're listing it as HBO Max instead of HBO. But yes, HBO overall has the most nominations, tied with Netflix, with Hulu. And I love Hulu, and so I'm very happy to see that. I think I think it turned out great. It's funny to see those plus and minus signs next to each other. Hilarious, so funny. All right, so we're going to go through and we're going to do voting for the major awards. We're not going to do voting for every category because it's just way too many. So we're going to start off with Best Drama, Motion Picture Drama. So we'll put a poll in here. Hold on, let me put it in. Start a poll. Best Movie Drama. I think I only have 4, so you're not going to be able to vote for all 5, which is ridiculous, YouTube. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this. So Avatar: The Way of Water. Elvis. We'll take out Tar, because ain't no way Tar is winning. The Fabelmans. And then Top Gun Maverick. Hilarious. I don't know how Top Gun Maverick is a drama, but that's fine. All right, so yeah, I left out Tar. Everybody agrees. I picked correctly. All right, so who do I think is going to win this? I think it's probably between the Fabelmans and Avatar. I don't like the Fabelmans, but I think that, it's about Hollywood and, Steven Spielberg's life story, and he really shares a lot, stuff that you wouldn't expect him to share. I think Top Gun Maverick is an incredible film, but the fact that it's not nominated for director, I think is a sign that perhaps the nomination is the best that it's going to do. But so these what do you guys think of these nominees? I think Woman King should have been in there instead of Elvis, quite frankly. So far, you guys are voting for Avatar, and you haven't even seen it. Hilarious. The Avatar embargo lifts tomorrow. I filmed my review right before this because tomorrow also the Spider-Verse trailer drops. So I'll be spending most of my day covering that. So I want the Avatar review done today. Let's see. So you guys, right now, Avatar is definitely winning, followed very closely by Top Gun Maverick. You guys want to see a blockbuster take this, which I think is interesting. Okay, I'll leave this up while we look at the next categories. We'll do polls. Black Panther was not nominated, Chad. CJ, as I said, I thought that Top Gun Maverick and Avatar would be the 2 that rose to the top. Hey, Zile. So while this goes on, we're going to go through the actors for drama. All right, so for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, you've got Cate Blanchett for Tar. Anthony, did I miss your super chat? Hold on. Everything Everywhere All at Once is definitely a comma. I don't know what you're talking about there. Anthony says, can you do a notes version of the Globe scandal? I'm not aware of what happened. Anthony, I've talked about this before. I don't want to take too much time out of this. But basically a lot of money being paid to people and a lot of racism. It was bad. It was very bad. All right, so Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Mahul, I'm so glad you're enjoying this interactive coverage. That makes me so happy. All right, so hey, Anton. That's great. I'm so happy for you. Try to keep the comments, though, to what we're discussing, because this is going to take forever otherwise. I'll open it up to overall questions at the very end. But I'm excited for you, Anton. You're going to have a great birthday. So Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. No huge surprises here. Although Olivia Colman for Empire of Light. I also hear this is awful. Viola Davis was amazing, Danny. Did you see the movie? Also, it really helps a lot of these actresses that Michelle Yeoh is over in the comedy section. So it's going to be great for them. Michelle Williams for Fabelmans, Ana de Armas for Blonde, which I think is ridiculous. I think Viola Davis is going to walk away with this for sure. She was incredible. I mean, we'll see. Cate Blanchett might take it because everybody's saying her performance is really good, but I think it's going to be Viola Davis. Then for actor in a drama, you've got Austin Butler for Elvis. Some of you were like, why didn't you vote for Austin Butler yourself, Grace? Well, the more time I took away from his performance and looked back on it, the more I felt that it was like a caricature of Elvis. And I just didn't think that it was strong enough. I wasn't impressed. So I didn't nominate him. Brendan Fraser for The Whale. He refuses to attend, although he was sexually assaulted at the awards by one of the Golden Globe, at that time, the head of the Golden Globes. So he can't go. I don't blame him. Hugh Jackman for The Sun. That's nuts. Bill Nye for Loving, which is also weird. This is like the category of movies nobody saw. And Jeremy Pope for The Inspection. It's probably going to be Austin Butler for Elvis. He'll be the male ingenue of the year, Or maybe they'll feel bad and give it to Brendan Fraser. I think that the Whale is going to lose momentum quickly. If the Whale wins, it's because people want a Brendan Fraser comeback. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't be against that. So we'll see. No, it's not Bill Nye the Science Guy, Cody. That's hilarious. It's Bill Nye. You remember Love Actually and the rock star who was singing a song that year? It's that guy. I love that guy. But yeah, it does sound very much like Bill Nye the Science Guy. All right. So before we move over into comedy, let's end the poll for who you think should win Best Picture Drama. And you guys think Avatar was a squeaker, but Top Gun Maverick's right behind it. So they're right to nominate these big blockbusters because, and I hope I hope these blockbusters actually have a chance at winning because then people just feel cheated. All right, so let's get into comedy now. Best motion picture, musical or comedy. And let's put that into a poll. And what are we going to leave out here? I'm going to leave out Triangle of Sadness. No. This is a tough one. I don't know who I would leave out here. Part of me wants to leave out... I'm going to leave out Babylon, I think. I'm going to leave out Babylon because I think Triangle of Sadness actually has a chance. So we're going to do Banshees of Inisherin. I can't believe there's only 4 things. It really hurts this interactive quality here. You guys agreed with Babylon to leave that out. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I don't have time to type all that out, so I'm just doing Glass Onion. And then Triangle of Sadness. Triangle of Sadness, if you can get through it, it's actually quite good. All right, there you go. Sorry, Babylon. All right, so you can vote in that poll for who you think should be Best Motion Picture Comedy. But it's Everywhere, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That's going to win. I mean, that's it. Maybe Banshees. It is the most nominated. But I think it's going to be Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Although Banshees, like Triangle of Sadness, is very difficult to sit through. But from like a artistic, creative standpoint, it's so impressive that you're like, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be angry if Banshees of Inisherin won, but I'd be like, don't try and watch it. Or at least go into it knowing what you're going to have to watch. Make it a matinee, because then it won't ruin your evening. But I do think Everything, Everywhere, All at Once deserves to win. All right, now as for actress in a comedy. It got moved over there a little bit. There we go. All right, Leslie Manville for Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Isn't that nice? I was so happy she was recognized. Margot Robbie for Babylon. To be fair, haven't seen it yet, but again, everyone says the movie's absolutely awful. This is just the Golden Globes wanting Margot Robbie to attend their event. They did this with Angelina Jolie and The Tourist and Johnny Depp. They do this all the time. Anya Taylor-Joy, I'm happy to see her nominated. I really like Anya Taylor-Joy. And I thought she was pretty good in The Menu. I didn't love the movie, but I have to tell you, it's watchable. The Menu is certainly more interesting and fun to watch than Triangle of Sadness or Banshees of Inisherin. So I'm happy to see her nominated. Emma Thompson for Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. I like Emma Thompson, so I'm also happy to see her nominated. But as many of you are saying, it doesn't matter who else is nominated in this category because Michelle Yeoh is winning. So that's very exciting and certainly deserved. She's worked for a very long time. She never gets any attention for her acting ability. So I'm very happy that she was nominated. And I think she'll win. As for actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy, Diego Calva for Babylon. He looks almost exactly to me like Javier Bardem. I'm like, oh my God, they cloned Javier Bardem. Daniel Craig for Glass Onion. Adam Driver for White Noise, which I have not seen yet. Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin. Hey, Jack. And then also Ralph Fiennes for The Menu, which I also agree with. I thought he was very good in the movie. I thought he really took his performance seriously. But it's going to be Colin Farrell, for sure. And I think Colin Farrell deserves it. Colin Farrell also, like Michelle Yeoh. You have to remember that a lot of the times these awards aren't necessarily for the film that they're actually nominated for, but sometimes they're also taking into account the body of work that is their career and wanting them to finally get some recognition. And I really do feel that Michelle Yeoh and Colin Farrell, I'd love to see those two standing together at the Oscars as Best Actor and Best Actress. It would make me feel good about Hollywood. All right, so before we move on to the supporting categories, let's take a look at what you guys voted for here. Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Let's end the poll. Everything Everywhere All at Once, you guys feel no contest. 59%, followed by Glass Onion. And I feel that a number of the other reasons that I think a number of you didn't vote for these other two movies is because you didn't see them, which is understandable. Because they'd have not really, I would not see either of those movies in a theater. Triangle of Sadness is now available on digital, and I believe Banshees is going to hit HBO Max tomorrow. Hey, Josh, or at least very soon. But I got to tell you, it's a rough watch, so just be prepared for that. Josh says, Babylon seems more mixed to me, not horrible. Well, let's see. Jojo Bell, you might not be able to see it because I'm covering it up. You can kind of see it. January 10th. They're on a Tuesday this year. I'll be live tweeting them. The Golden Globes are on a Tuesday this year because Critics' Choice, which I'm a member of, nabbed that first Sunday after New Year's. That's right, Gareth. I love your BTT Diamond. That's so great. 2 years. I'm so happy to see you get that badge. That's wonderful. That made me very happy, Gareth. You made my day. All right, so let's move on to the next category. So now we're going into Best Motion Picture Animated. Oh, let's vote for this. You're going to love this. Okay, what are we going to leave off here? Here we're going to leave off, I don't know, some people feel that Inu might actually win. I don't know what to leave off here. Darn it. These are all, I think, good contenders. I guess I'll leave off Turning Red, because I don't think Turning Red's going to win. All right. That's right. Look, other people agree with me. We all have our fingers on the pulse. So we have Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. We have Inuyo, which is like one of those anime movies that are doing so well at the box office. We have Marcel the Shell. Hey, baby. And Puss in Boots, which I feel should be the winner. Puss in Boots 2. That's right. It's amazing. Puss in Boots should win. If you don't vote for Puss in Boots 2, it's because you haven't watched it. I've watched it. I'm planning to watch it again. I love Puss in Boots so much. They had him on Hot Ones today. They had a little Hot Ones thing, and I was like, oh, look, he looks so cute holding the chicken wing. And I was like, I got to watch that movie again. But a lot of you feel like Guillermo del Toro is going to take it. And I think you're probably right. But also, Marcel, he's a cute little shell with shoes on. I can see that. It's very European. And this is the Hollywood Foreign Press. So I can see them being all about Marcel the Shell. So I think this is actually a very tough category. That's actually a very tough category. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. David, your use of emojis for Puss in Boots there is incredible. I love that. So I think that's very interesting. I'll let you vote for this a little bit while we go on to some of the next categories, because that's too close. All right. Best Actress in a Supporting Role in Any Motion Picture. They don't divide it up here. They don't divide this up into drama and comedy. All right? So they're done. They only do drama and comedy for Best Picture and Best Actor and Actress. All right, so Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Oh, I'm so happy to see Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, one of its few categories that it was recognized in. Carrie Condon for Banshees of Inisherin. I say that, I don't think she's that great in it. It's not a great role, in my opinion. It's a nice role. She's good, but she can't compare with these other people. Brett says, I haven't seen Pinocchio yet, but I'm very excited for it as a Christmas movie with my family. That's a dark movie for Christmas, Brett. I hope you're ready. But Brett, you're a puppeteer, so I think you're going to be really happy about that choice with that in mind. Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Dolly DeLeon for Triangle of Sadness. And Carey Mulligan for She Said. Carey Mulligan's very good in that, but I don't think, I thought she wasn't the best. I think it's really between Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis. Because Jamie Lee Curtis was really, outside of her comfort zone with that role. That was I think she's, with all due respect to Stephanie Hsu, hey, Rashad, I think that Jamie Lee Curtis, she was a big selling point to that movie, and she really put her star power behind it, and I think she helped, win people over to that film. So I feel like it's really going to be between Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis. I'd like to see Angela Bassett win because she was incredible, and I'd like to see some kind of recognition for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but I really do feel it's between those two. Next up, Best Actor in a Supporting Role in Any Motion Picture. Brendan Gleeson for Banshees of Inisherin. Barry Keoghan for Banshees of Inisherin. I thought Barry Keoghan was better between the two of them in that film. Brad Pitt for Babylon. Brad Pitt, I gotta say, some of the dirt on him is starting to stick. You know, I was like, Brad Pitt's fine, don't worry about him. But I gotta tell you, it's not going away. And I think he needs to work a little harder. Also, it looks like Brad Pitt's getting out of the producing business. He looks like he's going to sell his stake in Plan B to float some other business opportunity, and so he'll no longer be producing movies. Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse, which actually did pretty good on Netflix. But it's Ke Huy Quan for sure, a.k.a. Short Round from Indiana Jones. And he's going to be on the upcoming Loki season 2. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining. He's definitely going to win. It's his, for sure, 1,000%. And I'm very excited to see what his. Let's see if he shows up. But when he's going to show up at some awards show eventually and accept a win, and it's going to be great. I'm very excited to see what his speech is. But it's going to be incredible. He's been going on quite the selfie tour as it is already. That's right, Denzel. Brad did produce Blonde, which I think was a big error in judgment. All right, next. What's the next one? Best Director. Okay, let's finish up this. Let's end the poll though for Best Animated. Guillermo del Toro won. You guys put Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, followed by Puss in Boots. And then again, I feel these others are so small because like a lot of people haven't seen them. But I think probably it's going to be del Toro's Pinocchio, but I do feel it should be Puss in Boots. All right, we'll bring back the voting when we get to television. All right, so Best Director. Again, the fact that Baz Luhrmann is here and not a female director, or even I guess because Steven Spielberg put it all on the line, sharing some very ridiculous personal stuff that maybe I feel he shouldn't have shared. Maybe that's why he's up there. But Baz Luhrmann, instead of one of the many female directors, I think is kind of uncool. But James Cameron for Avatar: The Way of Water, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Baz Luhrmann for Elvis, Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, and I guess kind of maybe Martin McDonagh. Maybe, I don't know. And then Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. I gotta tell you, I think maybe the Daniels. I mean, they had a lot of mise-en-scène to handle there. And that was a very difficult story to tell. And I think James Cameron, I think James Cameron would be my second choice. I can see a lot of you going with James Cameron. And he did an excellent job with Avatar. But the Daniels, I think, I kind of would like to see them take it. All right, so that's that category. Next up is Best Screenplay. They don't do adapted or original here. They don't have the space because they're doing TV in the same evening. So they did Best Screenplay for a motion picture, Tar, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Banshees of Inisherin, Women Talking, one of the only places that movie was recognized, and The Fabelmans. I can see Women Talking taking it because they need to recognize women's work in some way, even though they didn't do it correctly. But I could see maybe Martin McDonagh taking it for Banshees, although some of you really feel it could be Tar. This category I think is pretty wide open, but I do predict it's Sarah Polley, as Will R. said, because it got shut out everywhere else, and so they want to not look too horrible. All right, next up we've got Best Original Score for a Motion Picture, Banshees of Inisherin, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Hildur, that's the composer who won for Joker. But she's also nominated for Women Talking. That's pretty amazing, back-to-back for her, or almost back-to-back. But, she's really getting a lot of attention. Justin Hurwitz for Babylon, and John Williams, once again, of course, working with Spielberg for The Fabelmans. I gotta tell you, I'm not really in love with any of these scores, so I don't really care who wins. So we'll see. I mean, none of these where I'm like, wow, that was some great music. Here I'm just like, whatever. And then we have Best Original Song. This is our last movie category. The Crawdads sing. Taylor Swift, who's soon will be a director for a movie. She just signed with Searchlight, who has the most nominations, so she's certainly in good hands. Ciao Papa from Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That was a cute song. Hold My Hand, Lady Gaga for Top Gun Maverick. Couldn't even remember. I didn't even recognize when they sang the song in the movie, so I wouldn't vote for that. Lift Me Up from Black Panther. I like Rihanna, but I gotta tell you, not a particularly good song in my opinion. And then I'd like to see Naatu Naatu win from RRR because it's the only category that's nominated in. So that would be nice. That would be good. I would vote for Naatu Naatu, but I also liked, Ciao Papa from Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That was cute. It was cute. I knew they were singing it, and it was in the actual movie, which I, of course, always appreciate. All right, let's move over to television now, and we'll go back to the polls. Okay, so this is, who do we leave off here? I think we're going to leave off Ozark because as much as what a category. As much as I like Ozark, I don't think it's winning. All right, so best TV show. Drama. This is a crazy category. Crazy. Better Call Saul. The Crown. House of the Dragon. And then Severance. So you can vote in just a minute. I misspelled Severance. Hold on. Or now I misspelled it. Whatever. You know what it is. Severance. 100%, I feel. Severance should win. With all due respect to all the other amazing shows here, this is an incredibly difficult category. Ozark and Better Call Saul are done. They're wrapped. That's the only thing that could hurt Severance, because Severance is coming back for a season 2. But I think House of the Dragon, the fact that it was nominated and Rings of Power was not, that's the win right there. That's the win that it got. And The Crown has one more season. The Crown season 5, though, I thought was its best season yet. I thought it was absolutely incredible. White Lotus is a comedy, Wesley, so it's not in this section. But I think it's Severance. If you've watched Severance, you know that it should be Severance. So if you are not voting for Severance, it's because you haven't seen it. If you watched the season finale of Severance, you would know that that was by far and away the best show this year. So let's go and we'll look at actors before we end the poll. So Best Actress in a Television Series Drama. Emma D'Arcy, the only acting nomination for House of the Dragon. Laura Linney for Ozark. Nice to see her finally get some recognition. Imelda Staunton for The Crown. Don't worry, Elizabeth Debicki isn't supporting. Hilary Swank for Alaska Daily. What the heck is that? And then Zendaya for Euphoria. Zendaya definitely is not showing up to this show. She's definitely not going to the Golden Globes. 0 chance. And she doesn't need to. But I think she could win it. I could see her winning this. I could also see Laura Linney winning, because I think Laura Linney did a wonderful job, and she was a wonderful villain. She was the character you love to hate, and she didn't get any attention for the whole time that show was on the air. So I think she should win, quite frankly. Then for actor in a drama, Jeff Bridges for The Old Man. The first episode of that was incredible. Then it got real bad, and I stopped watching it. Kevin Costner for Yellowstone. Diego Luna for Andor. It's only nomination, but he's so good on the show. It makes me so happy to see that recognition. I'm very, very happy that he got nominated. I kind of would have liked to have seen Stellan Skarsgård here. He did not get nominated, but I'll take it. I think it's a real win for Andor. Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul. And then, of course, Adam Scott for Severance. This is a tough category. I would kind of like to, obviously, to go to Adam Scott. Patty Considine should be here. It's a total snub. He should be here instead of, in my opinion, Kevin Costner. And he would have won. But he's not here. Maybe the Emmys will rectify this, or the SAG Awards. That would be nice. I think it should be Adam Scott, but I wouldn't be sad if it was Bob Odenkirk, because, of course, he's done with the role. So I kind of would have liked to have seen that. I wouldn't be sad if it was Diego Luna either, because I like him so much on Andor. But I think it's going to, I personally would vote for Adam Scott in this grouping. All right, so let's end this category before we move over to comedy. All right, so you guys have voted for Best Drama, House of the Dragon at 48%. Boy, Better Call Saul not getting a lot of love. I know a lot of you have watched Better Call Saul, and Severance, I think, is only in second place because you haven't seen it. All right, so that's right, Mika. Bob almost hit a heart attack. It was very serious. So let's take a look at best television show comedy. We're going to leave The Bear off of here because I don't see The Bear winning. But this is also another tough category. How great is it to see Wednesday here? That is really cool. So we'll do best TV show, comedy, or musical. So we've got Abbott Elementary. I know some of you love The Bear, but I have to take one off. Hacks. Only Murders. So nice to see Only Murders getting the attention it deserves. And Wednesday. There you go. You can vote there. It's Abbott Elementary, though. 1,000% Abbott Elementary is going to win. That's right, GP. Patty Considine better get an Emmy nomination, I hope. I think these are all great shows. I think Hacks was the weakest. I didn't watch The Bear. I thought Hacks season 2 was a little bit weaker. I thought Only Murders in the Building was a little bit weaker in its second season. But I liked the ending, and I thought it was better than Hacks. To me, out of this group, I prefer Wednesday. I think Wednesday is a phenomenal show, and I'm so happy that, I mean, this is great timing that it just made it in there. White Lotus, Keith, is comedy. Oh yeah, White Lotus is not there. Oh, that's interesting. Oh no, limited series. White Lotus is a limited series. My apologies. Okay, so we're not there yet. They have 3 categories for television, so they sure can nominate a lot. But I think Abbott Elementary will obviously win this. Although right now you guys are putting Wednesday first. All right, let's take a look at the actors in this category while you continue to vote. So Best Actress in a Television Series, Musical or Comedy. Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary. She's also, of course, the creator of the show. Kaylee Cuoco for The Flight Attendant. She always gets nominated, but she never wins. And I'm not surprised. Selena Gomez was not snubbed. So happy for her. Jenna Ortega for Wednesday. Ah, man, that's a great performance. And then Jean Smart for Hacks. I got to tell you, Quinta Brunson's going to win. And I think she deserves to win. But boy, is Jenna Ortega good. Jenna Ortega is incredible in this role. I personally think Jenna is a little bit, I don't know. Quinta Brunson, I think the only thing that would give me a little bit of an edge towards Jenna Ortega is that her performance is so fresh. It just happened. Whereas I already feel like Quinta Brunson has gotten a ton of recognition. I mean, she dominated the Emmys. I'm so happy for her. But, you know, she's got to finish the cycle. So I think that maybe Jenna Ortega on the next round. But the fact that Jenna Ortega is nominated is really big for her career. I'm very happy for her. Totally deserves it. All right, before we move on to limited series, hold on. Let's finish this poll. Oh, it was a tie. You guys are also torn. You're also torn. Look at that. Wednesday and Abbott Elementary, both at 36%. That's really interesting. That's how hot a show Wednesday is. That's incredible. And also, you know, of course, Abbott Elementary is with the Black community, representing that community, and Wednesday very much the Latino community, with the Addams family depicted, I think, accurately, considering, you know, Gomez Addams as a Latino family. I mean, that works really well with Dia de los Muertos. I thought it was a really good match. It was excellent. It was very, very, very good. All right, so next category. Let's see here. All right. Oh no, we have actor in a television. Oh yeah, I didn't do actor. I was like, wait a minute, are my slides out of order? Okay, 1 second. We still have actor in a comedy or musical. I got so excited about Jenna Ortega, I forgot about this. All right, so Best Actor in a Television Series, Donald Glover in Atlanta. Its only nomination. Bill Hader for Barry, Steve Martin and both Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, and then Jeremy Allen White for The Bear. That's great for his career. He's not going to win, but that's great for his career. I'd like to see, I feel this is also wide open. I feel all of these guys are great. This is none of their first rodeo. Maybe I think Bill Hader was phenomenal this season, but maybe a little bit better as a director. I kind of like to see it go to Steve Martin or Martin Short because I don't think, you know, they get enough credit for Only Murders. But I'd be happy with anybody here. They're all excellent. All right, now, Best Limited Series. Here's The White Lotus. This is also an incredibly tough category. Who am I going to leave out on this one? Oh, it should be Blackbird, but, you know, I'm going to leave out Pam and Tommy because I liked Pam and Tommy too. I like all these. Trisha says, isn't both Only Murders and Abbott Elementary owned by Disney? But hey, glad to make it. Yes, Disney and Hulu. They're both Disney properties. But sometimes, remember, the production company isn't always the same as the company that streams it. Leave out Dahmer. I don't know, Jennifer. I think Dahmer is a big deal. I think I'm going to leave out Pam and Tommy because I don't think it's going to win. But I think Blackbird and Pam and Tommy are both out. So let's see here. Let me put this in here. Best Limited Series. Hold on. All right, so Blackbird, because I like it so much. Sorry. Dahmer. The Dropout. I'll try to watch The Bear, Nicholas, but it's hard for me to go back and watch that. You know what I just got? I got all the episodes of The Bad Batch, season 2. I'm pretty excited about it. All 14. I know what I'm doing between Christmas and New Year's. All right, there you go. So, and this is the new White Lotus. This isn't White Lotus from last season. This is White Lotus this season that just aired. And I got to tell you, I think it's going to be White Lotus. I think these are all incredible television. Television is so good right now, it's ridiculous. But these are incredible. All of these are good. I would recommend all these shows. I haven't been able to watch Dahmer because it's too brutal for me, but I certainly know that it's a huge hit. It's a huge, huge hit. But I liked all these shows. I've watched all of them except for Dahmer, and I thought they were absolutely incredible. So you guys are voting right now. Let's take a look at the Best Actor categories. That's right, The White Lotus, Sicily, Mika. They should do it that way. They should really categorize it that, so it's a little bit easier to know what we're talking about. All right, so Best Actress in a Limited Series. Jessica Chastain for George and Tammy. Julia Garner for Inventing Anna. Lily James for Pam and Tommy. Stephen, I loved the White Lotus finale yesterday. Julia Roberts for Gaslit. And Amanda Seyfried for The Dropout. How good was Amanda Seyfried in The Dropout? Jennifer Lawrence said, I'm not going to do that character. I'm not going to play Elizabeth Holmes in a movie because you can't do better than Amanda Seyfried. Amanda Seyfried should win. No question. And she will win, I think. Lily James did a nice job. But I think the nomination in and of itself is pretty incredible because so many people ignored Pam and Tommy, which is a shame because I liked it so much. It was a very, very good special. But Amanda Seyfried's going to win. No question. Then next up, Best Actor in a Limited Series, Taron Egerton. I'm so happy for him to be nominated here. He was so good on Blackbird. Please watch Blackbird. It's so incredibly good. Colin Firth for The Staircase. I loved the first 2 episodes of this, but then I felt it ran out of steam. They did not have enough story for all the episodes that they had. Andrew Garfield for Under the Banner of Heaven. Didn't watch that. Evan Peters for Dahmer. And then Sebastian Stan for Pam and Tommy. Oh, I thought he was great. I thought he was so good. But it's going to be Evan Peters for Dahmer, for sure. I think Sebastian Stan maybe, but I mean, Evan Peters was transformative. And don't get me wrong, I personally would love to see Taron Egerton win, but it's going to be Evan Peters. And I hope that it finally levels his career up. He already won an Emmy for Mayor of Easttown. What's this guy got to do to get his career to level up already? It's getting ridiculous. He's like the most unfamous person like there is. It's crazy. Thank God for Ryan Murphy, who keeps hiring him. All right, so now we're going to move over to Best Supporting. So let's finish this vote. You guys feel White Lotus should win, hands down, and I would agree with that. But it could be Dahmer. Dahmer's 27%. And Blackbird, again, I feel a lot of you aren't voting for Blackbird because you just didn't see it. But I wouldn't even vote for Blackbird, even though I loved it. White Lotus is that good. I don't know how, Mike White actually managed to do as good a job the second time around. I think White Lotus has almost become like the television Glass Onion, Knives Out. And let's see if, that's an interesting comparison. Let's see if Rian Johnson and Mike White can actually keep the quality up for third entries. That would be amazing. All right, so Best Supporting Actress in Anything on Television. Comedy, Drama, Limited Series. Elizabeth Debicki for The Crown, Hannah Einbinder for Hacks, Julia Garner for Ozark, Janelle James for Abbott Elementary, and Cheryl Lee Ralph for Elementary. Cheryl Lee Ralph gave an incredible Emmy win speech. She'll probably win again. Her only real competition here, I feel, is Elizabeth Debicki for The Crown, because Elizabeth Debicki became Princess Diana. But Elizabeth Debicki has one more season, so it'll probably be Cheryl Lee Ralph, and Elizabeth Debicki will probably win next year. But yeah, this is also a difficult category. Next category for Best Supporting Actor in absolutely anything on television is John Lithgow for The Old Man, Jonathan Pryce for The Crown, playing Prince Philip, John Turturro for Severance. He did do a very good job. Tyler James Williams for Abbott Elementary. That's great for him to be nominated there. And Henry Winkler for Barry, who's also quite good. But I feel like Henry Winkler's won before. It might be Tyler James Williams because I don't really feel that great about anybody else's performance here. This is actually, I think, not a particularly competitive category. So that makes it wide open because no one screams out to be the winner here, to be honest with you. All right, then for Best Supporting Actress for, so that was for comedy or drama show. Now, Matt Smith didn't get nominated, Katie. All right, so this is Best Supporting Actress in a Limited Series on TV. So Jennifer Coolidge for The White Lotus, Claire Danes for Fleischman is in Trouble, Daisy Edgar Jones for Under the Banner of Heaven, Niecy Nash for Dahmer, and Aubrey Plaza for The White Lotus. Oh, this is a tough category. I got to tell you, I agree with Platinum Diva. It's going to be Niecy Nash. I think Niecy Nash is going to win. I think that's probably going to be it. I think Jennifer Coolidge, For Aubrey Plaza, I think the nomination is enough. And Jennifer Coolidge did an incredible job in both seasons of The White Lotus. I mean, it was incredible. If you saw the season finale, mind blown for White Lotus. But Niecy Nash, that's an incredible and really incredible performance and balances out the Evan Peters performance. And just did a great job. You know, Mika, I can understand your feeling that Megan Fahey should have been nominated for Daphne for White Lotus, but she's not as famous as Aubrey Plaza, and the Golden Globes are all about celebrities. So that's why I think that's how it went. I think it could be Jennifer Coolidge, but I don't be surprised if it's Niecy Nash. Best Supporting Actor in a Limited Television Series or Movie. F. Murray Abraham for The White Lotus. Donald Gleason for The Patient. He's very good on that. I haven't finished it, but he was very good. That's right, Aston. A lot of snubs for House of the Dragon. So that's quite exemplary for Emma D'Arcy. Paul Walter Hauser for Blackbird, Richard Jenkins for Dahmer, and Seth Rogen for Pam and Tommy, which he also produced. Seth Rogen's a very good producer. I gotta tell you, I think it should be Paul Walter Hauser for Blackbird. If you watched Blackbird, that's some incredible acting right there. I think he's probably gonna win it, to be honest with you. That's great for F. Murray Abraham, by the way. But it's Paul Walter Hauser, I think, for sure. All right, let's see. Do we have any more categories left? Oh, that's it. There we go. That's the nomination. So it is 3:19. You can ask me anything you'd like until we'll do until 3:30. So we have a full, basically about an hour for the stream. So what are your questions about preferably the Golden Globes and awards season? Mika, they only have so many categories. They can't nominate everybody from White Lotus. Sky says, do you think winning here could hurt your chances at other awards show? Because the Golden Globes have such a bad reputation now. No, I don't, Sky. That's a great question. But I don't think that's the case. I think a win is a win, and it helps your momentum. So it's good to win here. You want to win here. I think the Golden Globes are going to do what they always do, and that's shape the upcoming awards season. They still got it. They're just marred with horrible controversy. And you know what? I think 1 year where they have to play to an empty room is probably what they deserve. And then maybe they can come back. But I think these are good nominations. CJ will do a White Lotus discussion tomorrow. Trisha says, do you see how many tickets Avatar 2 is selling in China? Definitely going to make $1 billion. I'm not surprised. We'll talk about it in my review tomorrow. Joy, we can't talk about White Lotus spoiler talk today. It'll have to be tomorrow. But I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm. Alex says, how do you feel about the Olivia Cook snub? Not as bad as I do about the Patty Considine snub. Let's see here. Mandy says, which nominees actors do you think will actually show up for the Golden Globes? I don't really think anyone's going to show up, Mandy. I think no one's going to show up, to be honest with you. Did you see anybody reacting to their Golden Globe nomination today? No, you did not. Usually someone's like, oh, I was sleeping and my family woke me up and said congratulations. Or I was awake and it was just such an honor. Nobody said a peep. And they're not going to. I think just 1 year of being ignored is what they're going to do. David Kyle, I agree. Jennifer Coolidge was phenomenal last night. Phenomenal. Adil said, had fun. Are you talking about the last Puss in Boots viewing in Dolby Cinema? It's not going to be in Dolby, though, because Avatar has all the Dolby screens. Midnight Eye says, how did they figure Banshees for a comedy? It's definitely a comedy. I think it's like a bittersweet comedy, but it's, I think, definitely a comedy. Aston says, heartbroken about the Patty snub. Yeah, it was. Rihanna reacted to hers? Oh, that's funny. What did Mika say? I guess a few people reacted, but not to the degree that they used to. Jesse the Good Witch says, was the White Lotus choice smart? I feel so. I feel it's very smart. So some people did react. That's interesting. Maybe they will show up. All it takes is one celebrity saying they're going and everyone, maybe they'll all go like I'm doing here and then just say how horrible the Golden Globes are. Maybe they'll all walk the red carpet and be like, yeah, it's pretty bad, but I'm here and I'm representing the work. Get my Golden Globe. Will says, I don't understand your shorthand there. Lewis says, how long do you think it will take for the Golden Globes to fully recover from the scandal? I think just this year, Lewis. I think these are very good nominations. I think these are very, very good nominations. Eric, I'm still under embargo for the Whitney Houston movie. I can't review it until I believe the 21st. Taron Egerton reacted. I guess everyone did react. That was short. That was a shorter pause on the Golden Globes than I anticipated. Jacob says, where do you think season 3 of White Lotus will take place? I'm pretty sure he's saying Japan. We can't talk spoilers on the White Lotus because some people might not have watched it. So tomorrow we will have a spoiler discussion as one of the sections of the stream, and it will be the last one, and we'll go to town on spoilers. So make sure you watch the White Lotus season finale by tomorrow. Hey, Charlie. Lewis says, where's Rita Seehorn and Joseph Kosinski for Maverick? There's only so many spaces. And if you can't get a nomination, you just don't have the traction. Not everybody can get nominated. And some people, unfortunately, get slip through the cracks. Brett says, what is your favorite Paul Walter Hauser performance? Mine is Black Klansman. He's incredible. Mine's Blackbird, now that I've seen Blackbird. I mean, he kind of always does the same thing, to be honest, but he's the most Paul Walter Hauser in Blackbird. And he has to go to some really dark places. The thing is that the Golden Globes has phenomenal name recognition. It has the best name recognition after the Oscars. And who doesn't want that for their movie? Who doesn't want that for not only their Oscar awards campaign, but for also the project to get people to tune in and watch it? So that's, at the end of the day, it always comes down to money. Can people make money off of this? And they can still make money off of the Golden Globes because, it's trending number 2. If it weren't for that Elon Musk's Dave Chappelle situation, it would have been trending number 1. Hey, Mark, good to see you too. Joy, I think the Batman didn't get anything because it's just, I think it was just, there's too many blockbusters. And they already had Avatar, Top Gun Maverick, and Black Panther. And it just isn't space for a 4th. Marcus, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association definitely has a huge problem with their reputation. And they're always going to have an asterisk next to their name forever. But I think they'll be able to work their way back. Steven says, will you consider covering White Lotus in the future? Nope, I would not, because it's just not, it's a social media heavy show, but it's not big online. I'll probably maybe try to review the 3rd season. I don't know. I like watching it every week, though. I felt sad listening to the opening song for the last time yesterday. Jay King says there were some really phenomenal female directors this year. Yeah, it was horrible. They didn't nominate one of them. Still the same problems. Finn Moreau says, have you seen Undone? It has so much heart and great writing story. Can't believe it hasn't gotten any. Well, I haven't even heard of it. I don't even know what you're talking about, Finn. So they need to work a little bit harder there on their advertising. April said, hey, April. Welcome, April. Platinum Diva says, if Nash wins, she will be the first black actress to win in limited series ever. That would be wonderful. I hope she does win. I think she's a really talented actress, and she worked very hard there. Ashton says, best actor frontrunner for the Oscars at the moment. I think it's between Brendan Fraser and Colin Farrell. And I'd like to see Colin Farrell take it, quite frankly. Gigi says, even this day, the Golden Globe results influence Oscar nominations and wins. Question mark? Yes, they do. I think the Golden Globes are really, they set the tone. And I think they're still doing it. I don't have high hopes for Wicked. I don't really think that the director is very talented. Josh says, Letitia Wright was so good in Black Panther. Her performance was so emotional and she wasn't nominated. I think it's hard to nominate somebody from a blockbuster like that. They have to do something truly extraordinary, and that's why Angela Bassett was nominated. I think for the most part, it's very difficult to get an acting nomination for a major blockbuster. You can see nobody from Avatar was nominated either, even though I think Stephen Lang is deserving of a nomination. Bye, Andrew. We've got 2 more minutes. Oh, Jay Garcia also liked Undone. Jojo Bell says, Grace, what's not here that you wish was? I'm pretty happy with these nominations, to be honest with you. I guess Patty Considine. Patty Considine was, I think, so crucial to House of the Dragon season 1. Hey, Batcat Penguin. And he made all of us have such a huge 180. At first we thought he was like a joke of a character, and then we all came to love him so much. For that character arc not to be recognized, even with a nomination, I feel is pretty bad. Glalie, have you seen Puss in Boots 2? Platinum Diva, I would have liked to have seen The Woman King nominated, but I'm just very happy that Viola Davis was nominated. I think that's important. And I think she has a real shot at winning her category. Hey, Davison. Oh, we have 1 more minute still. Ask me your questions. That's so sweet of you, Batcat Penguin. I'm glad you feel that way. Denzel says Marvel TV didn't get any nominations. Well, I don't know if they're not working hard enough in that kind of. I mean, come on, when you compare it to Andor. Davison says, long time watcher, first time joiner here. Hello, no Heartstopper. That's a good point. I don't think that the Netflix series Beyond Wednesday did particularly well. I think. Their movies did very well. David Kyle, I have a theory about that for White Lotus that we'll talk about tomorrow. SS Har says, Patty didn't get Critics' Choice or Golden Globes. Will this hurt his Emmy chances? Not necessarily. I think the Emmys are just television. So hopefully they'll have a little bit. I don't know, it's tough. I think the House of the Dragon is basically a blockbuster show. And it's hard for acting to get recognized in any blockbuster, being on the big or small screen, especially when you're competing against, some other shows that like Severance, and because that's White Lotus is a limited series, so it's not in the same category, even though it should be. So Patty Considine has to go up against Severance and Better Call Saul, and in some cases Succession, and it's just very difficult. So I think it's hard for him to compete. Aston says, Barbarian snubbed in every category, including TV. Why? Of course it was snubbed in TV. It's not a TV show. Adil says, my cinema has 2 Dolby Puss in Boots shows before Avatar. Oh, go see it. Go see Puss in Boots in Dolby. And then Steven says, wish Lashana Lynch was getting noms for supporting. I do too, Steven, but Woman King had to deal with a lot of controversy. So the fact that it's getting any kind of recognition still, I think, is important. That's great to see Kit Connor getting recognition with the Children's Television Award. That's great. Aston, I'm glad you like Barbarian so much. That's excellent. All right, so that's my coverage of the Golden Globes. For the Oscars, those nominations, I believe, come out on the 12th. Let me see. Where are those? Hold on. Let me find it. I have it written down here. The Oscar nominations come out on the 24th. Oh my God, the Oscars are always so far freaking behind. The Golden Globes will be over by then. The Golden Globes are on January 10th, and then on January 24th, we have the Oscars. And I'll be doing our typical who should win, who will win video for that. But for this, it was fun to do it this way. And did you guys like doing it as a live interactive, where you guys could vote on some of the categories? Did you enjoy this? I stopped watching Better Call Saul, Lord Baratheon, because I thought it became repetitive. Thanks, Charlie. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys liked this. That makes me very happy. Do you guys want me to do this the same for the Oscars? Would you prefer this? I'll see how this video does. Maybe I'll do it this way for the Oscars, and I can do it closer to when the things go up. Lord Baratheon says, if Avatar made $3 billion, how do you think Disney would feel? I don't know if it's going to make $3 billion. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys liked this so much. Maybe we will do it. Maybe we will. Let's see. If I do, maybe I'll do what I might do is maybe I'll do a should win, will win for the Oscars, and then maybe I'll do a follow-up with we focus mostly on voting. And so that way we can do both. So maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll do Oscars both ways so that you guys can participate as well. Because this is fun. I like seeing your votes. All right, everybody. See you soon. Tomorrow is a big day. The Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse trailer drops tomorrow. I'll be doing a reaction and a breakdown. And then the Avatar 2 review embargo lifts at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And there will be a stream in there. Maybe I'll move the stream from tomorrow. Oh, we're supposed to do White Lotus. Let me see. Maybe if there's not a stream tomorrow, maybe I'll move the stream to Thursday. Because tomorrow's pretty freaking busy. All right, everybody. See you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye. I had fun. I had fun, too. I'm glad you did as well.